Hey there guys and gals, welcome back. We are in Subnautica and we're actually in the farming update release. So the bad news is we have to create a new map or a new save. Basically when I try to fire up the other save, it kind of yelled at me and said there was some changes to the environment and there possibly could be some additional caves and whatnot. So it was recommended that I probably should just start a new save. That way there was no problems. So with that said, we are going to have to start over, which isn't too big of a deal. I kind of knew this day was going to happen. So we are going to be jumping in the game and we'll see you there. Alright guys, we are in the new save. So there is quite a few changes in the major update. Obviously there's going to be, you can farm now, which is pretty cool, which is going to add a lot of interesting stuff around your base and then inside your base. You can kind of fill some of those living spaces now instead of having them be a little bit blank. There is the large aquarium came out, which I've been waiting for. That was actually released in a beta version of the game, but it's officially out now. And there's quite a few other little things that I notice, and we'll probably see them as we go. There's a fire extinguisher on the ground there.
New message has arrived.
New message.
Playing message.
Radio test entry 1. Okay, this is new here. Some sort of communications relay. Don't know what that is for. There's a couple changes in here. I guess this is kind of a reddish tint now. And I think you get the same stuff in here now. It's not randomly generated, which is kind of cool. This basic survival stuff. It looks like you got some flares, you got your filtered water, and there's this nutrition block, which is kind of cool. Kind of like that. I guess now you can't use, I don't know if it's now or they're going to eventually integrate that, where you can't use some of the...
A new message has arrived.
Okay.
Playing message.
Occurs in 2 minutes. Alrighty then. So yeah, you won't be able to use some of this stuff till you put out the fire and you repair this panel here. So right now you can use the fabricator and whatnot. I did notice some changes in the recipes. Let's get out of here. They did a little bit, some graphical changes in the water I noticed. But overall there's quite a bit of different changes, actually for the best I kind of like. So let's go grab us some food here, I guess, or grab some crystals while we're down here. One of the things I kind of noticed is, oh, relay is offline, okay, is some of the blueprints here. I was looking at the blueprints and I noticed here it says like base water part blueprint on the large aquarium. I don't remember that being there. And for the well, I don't see the other one. I should have, I think when I get the titanium it's going to show the larger, I forgot what that one's called. Let's go grab some titanium. Maybe that blueprint will come up now.
Detecting increased local radiation levels.
Let's grab a fishy here.
With ongoing degradation of the Aurora's dark matter drive core.
Put some limestone. I think once I get titanium, that blueprint will release. I don't see it now. Well, basically the regular hub, the big one, shows that information too, like there's something with the blueprint. So I'm kind of wondering if they're going to actually later on add that to where you gotta like find the blueprints or whatever. which is going to be pretty nice. So yeah, let's head back up and cook some of this food here. So we're not going to do too much of the basic stuff. Probably just this episode is just going to have some of the basic stuff, but the continuing episodes, I'll probably definitely work offline for you guys and get everything set it up again, get a base going. But with that in mind, just keep in mind that this is a alpha game, basically early access game, so there's going to be probably quite a few resets. Okay, we're good with that. Another communication. I guess it's we're getting communications from somewhere, but we can't actually figure out what it is because there's some problems going on. So let's grab some of this scrap here. I might grab another fish. Grab this guy here. So it's going to be really nice to have the... Oh, we gotta get out of the way of that. The farming. That way we can get some food going. I don't know how we go about doing getting the blueprint for the farm. And here's another thing here. Creature eggs. I have not figured out what that's for yet, but probably for the farming aspect. And I noticed some recipes has changed. We'll look in here really quick. The one recipe I did notice that changed was a silicone rubber. It's actually not crystal anymore. It's creep vine seed clusters, which is the same stuff you use to make lubricant. That kind of actually makes sense. If it's an oil based, if that seed's an oil based, that it makes the lubricant, it's obviously going to make silicone instead of having those quartz make silicone. Which kind of frees up some silicone now, or crystal, to be, or quartz. I always call them crystals, but they're actually quartz. They're free up the quartz now. So, because it seemed like before we used quartz for a lot of different recipes. So, let's see if the recipe or the blueprint came up for the... what I'm thinking of. I don't quite see it yet. Well, the large aquarium's here. Here's another one. It says base bulkhead blueprints. So I'm assuming I'm going to need to get the what are we looking for? Should I put that egg in here? Yeah, I should put that egg in here. We're going to need the habitat builder, and I think that blueprint comes up. So let's build another. Let's build an OT tank. Actually, I was going to say another, but we already have one. That'll help us go down a little bit further. Now we need to get some. Probably quartz, titanium. Look for some copper. So we need to make some batteries because we're gonna need to make our assembler thingy-bob. Get a couple more of these, I think. Did I got a couple of these with me? Probably need about 2 more. That was interesting. We'll probably need to make 1 more tank. There is some wrecked bases around now, so I think there's some in the water, and I think there's some on the islands, so they're actually adding quite a good amount of content. And another thing they changed here, I really like this, is the salt deposit. Actually looks better than it looked before. It used to be this little square thing. So let's keep going and get stuff. I really need to find some copper. That's what's going to get us going.
To radioactive crash site materials.
And possibly some creepvine seeds. I'm just trying to figure out my location. Get us into a creepvine location would be really nice. I think we shouldn't be too far. There's some right there. There we are. Usually going down there we should find some copper too. Got enough space for stuff. Drink some water. So yeah, there's some terrain changes that I kind of noticed a little bit. Some areas that I've been to before seem a little bit different. So they've been doing a pretty good job on this game. Sometimes they don't necessarily put everything in the major changelog update, so you seem bigger, I think. Oh man, it's taking me forever. Uh-oh. This guy. So that's the cool thing, even though, you know, they say it's a big update with food and whatnot, or farming. There's always little things that I like to see in the game, and they always show up, and it's cool to discover those. Like especially some of the recipe changes. They seem to be going down the path where they're kind of making them, the recipes a little bit more challenging. Need some of that because I'm going to make some better flippers. And I think I need more because I need to make my little survival knife, which I need. Guess I need some more silicone. So let's forget which direction to go. There we go. Swimming faster. We'll get a couple more of those and then we can make our survival knife. So yeah, I'm glad they're going in a good area with this game. I'm glad farming's in here because it kind of sucked going around trying to get fish all the time. And when you like gather fish around like where your base is, they basically get unpopulated and it gets barren over there. You don't have no more fish around. So it's going to be really nice to have that so I don't have to clean out an area of fish, because I like to have a base where I look out the window, I can see fish around, swimming around. Looks pretty nice. So I don't know what the requirements is, probably some fragment somewhere, so we're going to have to do a lot of exploring now, which we needed to do in the past. So I gotta check what I have on me, guys. I probably need some glass at some point. So I think that's gonna make me another tank. Let me hold on the silicone right now. Let's make that. And we'll make another tank. I always like carrying 2 tanks around. And let's clear that out. Oops. Let's put this guy number 1. Might as well make some silicone out of that. And we need to get working on the habitat builder. We need a computer chip and a battery. And we need a scanner, so we need like 2 batteries. Which is, there's some new material in here also. There is, to make first aid kit is a little bit harder. You need bleach and fiber mesh, but fiber mesh is from Let's see here. I forgot where fiber mesh come from. I think creep vines. You get the creep vines and it makes fiber mesh. So we need to get out there, get some of the creep vines with a knife. Now we have the knife, we can actually get some of these corals. We have enough room for a lot of stuff. Oh, we got general enough room. We need some of this table coral. That should be what we need for batteries. I still haven't found copper.
Warning, local radiation readings exhibit characteristics consistent with
And we'll get some
degradation of the
regular
Aurora's
coral,
dark
which
matter
we can
drive
just
core.
hack off of
A
this
quantum
here.
detonation will occur with a probability of 85.5%. Advise observing a 1 kilometer safety range.
So they're basically gonna have to bang again. So let's head back up. Oh, we need to go get some creep vines. That's okay. We'll go up here, drop our load off, because we gotta go exploring by the creep vine anyways, because that's where we're gonna find some copper and whatnot for the batteries. And while we're here, we can probably make the scanner. Might as well get that up and going. Can we make the scanner? I think we needed a battery, right? Which is copper, so nope, we can't get that till we get all the copper. Clean you out. Clean you out. That's good. Let's go. Before. Oh, actually, it was dark, wasn't it? So yeah, they've been working with a lot of the ambient lighting in the underwater areas to make it look as much as they can to make it look underwater-y look, if that's a thing. Like sometimes it would get kind of murky in some areas. So yeah, they changed the look of that too, and it takes up a big old cluster now. But it does different stuff now, which is kind of cool. It seems to be more needed. Because before you didn't really touch the creep vines too much unless you were doing medical kits. And now you need to make the fiber, which is kind of cool. And obviously before it's a lubricant. This guy. You better back off, dude. So we're going to be needing a med kit. That's okay. Let's see if we can find us some copper. I got some silver, which is needed too. Silver is a needed thing. Not at the moment, but usually in the beginning it's mostly copper. There's some guys right here. There's another egg. Do we have room for eggs? I don't know. We'll come back for eggs. So we got 2 copper, didn't we? That's probably what we need. Let's go grab a couple of these here. I feel like those fins aren't on. I'm not swimming as fast as I would like. Let's get out of here. There's too many of these guys here. They go this way. Drink all my water. There we go. So the nutrition block gives you a lot of food, which is pretty cool.
The central dark matter reactor will reach a supercritical
There's some more
state
guys here.
in
Well, we're heading back
T-minus
that way, so might as well
10,
grab these guys.
9, 8,
Uh-oh.
7,
Here comes the explosion!
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0.
See if we can look at it from the surface. Oh wow, those fish. Oh, look at all those pieces coming off of it. That looks pretty cool. Apparently this life pod can take damage too, because I've seen they're working on something where they have a damage model on it, so I don't know if they're going to be adding in another life pod somewhere where you can kind of scavenge off it, because it was a different number. It was like life pod 11. So they might be getting to add in some like objectives, missions and stuff, which would be interesting. Let's get on the battery, which is, we need 2 acid mushrooms. I think we need to make 2. Wait. Is that recipe changed? No, that's right. It's copper. I thought I had, oh, maybe it was 2 copper. Well, that was silver I was getting. So, creature egg. What do we do with these? Farm those or something? So, what was that for? That was for the scanner. Titanium. We need more titanium. At least get that, because we're getting yelled at all the time to scan stuff. So let's get the habitat. We need another battery. Let's see what the computer chip cost. Quartz and 2 table coral. Okay, we got that. We need quartz and 2 table coral, and we got the computer chip basically. And let's grab some salt here. Well, we got salt, and I think we need regular coral. And let's make a first aid kit. If I remember, it's bleach now. Well, obviously it was bleach before, but it's something else. We need fiber mesh now. So it's kind of like making a band-aid basically. So now it should be good to go. So I think they're kind of taking feedback from some of the YouTubers possibly, because that was actually something I wanted to see, some of the recipes changed. So let's see if I can go grab another thing of copper. Come back. Looking at the time, we have a little bit of time here. Let's grab one of these guys. We need some water. Actually, let's scan them while we're over here. Where'd you go? Another thing I noticed too, I think they might have changed, is the scanner. Scans a little bit quicker now. Yeah, normally I would, yeah, it's done basically. So I think it is a little bit faster. Not something overly fast where it just seems overkill. They've been doing a good job. There's copper. Salt seems to be around a lot. Let's see what this guy is. We got 36 seconds before we gotta go up. Titanium.
Warning, 30 seconds of oxygen
Well, crystal
remaining.
quartz is basically the same thing almost. So if I keep calling it crystals, it's the same thing, guys. So I might go ahead and record right after this episode and continue on, and then the following episodes after that will probably just be further down the line. We don't need to do all these beginning stuff because we've seen it all before. so I can skip here and there. So battery, we should be ready to make that. Let's get our water. And let's make our habitat builder. Now I should get the recipe for what I was looking for. Let's put all this junk in here. I kind of hate how you have to like right or shift and then click it. It should be just like a mouse gesture kind of thing to make it go in. Maybe right click or something, but I think right clicks for something. We didn't even, did we drink our water? Or did I put it in there? Anyways, let's just go down here and check out blueprints now. So here it is, multi-purpose room is now in there. And it says base room blueprint. So I think some of these are going to get unlocked for certain circumstances. But the way they have it set up, they can actually, in the near future, or the future, they can actually add that to where you got to find it as a fragment, judging by these. But I think these blueprint stuff get unlocked when you find the certain items or material to actually make that. So, what else do we gotta make? I think we just need to get a bunch of titanium. I think we're gonna have to figure out a place to set up a basic base, and then from there just start to explore and get what we need. So I think probably down here in the creepvine area again. This one might not be a good area because there's too many of those one creatures. I can't remember what their names are. Those guys are always off the metal. But this kind of looks like where we were last time. Do I even have those good flippers on? No, I need those fast ones. I'm used to those fast ones. So we can generally just set up wherever you want. It doesn't really matter. We can actually set up over here, maybe on top of this thing right here. Oh no, we can't. Radiation. I didn't know I was going closer to the Aurora. And I need to make a swim bladder at some point. I don't like vertical ascending with my fins. I like to use a bladder. Yeah, I probably need to make a flashlight at some point too. What does that cost? Can I see that through here? No. I'm gonna go back to the fabricator, apparently. So yeah, there's a lot of these guys here. I don't like building around there because they start to pick at your base. There's a lot of them now. I might have to go. Let's grab this egg. Somewhere in this direction. I kind of like to be by the creep vines because they're usually in between biomes. It always goes out to either the regular biome where you can get all the different corals and stuff, and then it goes out to the was it the mushroom or the blue biome, whatever they call that one. So that's what we'll see in possibly here soon in the next episode or two. Is somewhere I gotta set up. So alrighty guys, with that said, I'll definitely end this episode here for you guys. So that's a look at the new update. which we haven't really got to see any of the new features. That kind of sucks that you have to restart. I was looking forward to just jumping in and trying out the new stuff, but yeah, they yelled at me because there were some changes in the world. Like, man, these guys are aggressive. Yeah, like certain new caves, I guess they built new biome tweaks or whatever, so it's definitely probably for the best. We want to keep updated with all that stuff, and yeah, it's expected with an alpha game. So hopefully you guys stick around. So alrighty guys, that is it for this episode, and we'll definitely see you next time. Bye bye guys, take care.